is it that Minnesota is where they are right now? I'm not saying it's a bad year. They're 17-15 right now. But when you compare this team that you're watching to the one we saw last year that was 30 games over 500, what do you see?
I actually think Anthony Edwards, in my opinion, has regressed.
But how has Anthony Edwards regressed?
Because he's taken too many threes, in my opinion.
Way too many.
Like last year, we said, this dude like Michael Jordan. They just both black. He's not Michael Jordan. And I think he's a great kid and he got a chance of being a great player. But I personally think he's regressed and become a jump shooter.
Anthony Edwards, the man, the myth, the walking highlight reel. From a childhood full of challenges to becoming the #1 pick in the NBA draft, his journey is nothing short of incredible. But here we are, in 2025, and things haven't exactly gone as planned. So, what happened? How did one of the most talented young stars in basketball hit a rough patch this season? Let's break it all down. Anthony Edwards, or as fans call him, Ant-Man, was born on August 5, 2001, in Atlanta, Georgia. Growing up, Anthony had a love for sports, but not basketball. Football was actually his first passion. That's right. Ant-Man was a star running back before he ever stepped foot on the hardwood. But after the tragic loss of his mother and grandmother to cancer, Anthony shifted his focus to basketball. By the time he graduated, Anthony was a basketball phenom, drawing comparisons to legends like Dwayne Wade. But instead of heading to a traditional basketball powerhouse, he chose to stay close to home and play at the University of Georgia. Anthony Edwards' freshman season at Georgia was nothing short of electric. He averaged 19 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists per game, proving he could score at will against elite competition. Remember that 37-point game against Michigan State? That's when the world realized Anthony Edwards wasn't just a good player, he was special. But despite his individual brilliance, Georgia struggled as a team, finishing with a losing record. Critics started questioning his ability to lead, but his potential was undeniable. When the 2020 NBA draft rolled around, Ant-Man's upside made him the clear #1 pick, and the Minnesota Timberwolves were all in. Edwards didn't just meet expectations in the NBA, he shattered them. In his rookie season, he averaged 19 points per game, earning all-rookie first-team honors. His combination of explosive athleticism and confidence made him an instant fan favorite. Then came year 2, where he leveled up even more. Ant was dropping 20-plus a night, knocking down threes, and posterizing anyone brave enough to stand in his way. By year 3, he was an all-star, and people were calling him the future face of the league. It wasn't just about the stats. Edwards brought swagger, personality, and an infectious energy to the Timberwolves. He wasn't just a player, he was a show. But here's where things get tricky. Fast forward to the 2024-2025 season and something's off. Ant-Man just hasn't been himself. His scoring efficiency has dipped, his decision-making seems rushed, and the Timberwolves as a team aren't clicking like they were before. So, what's going on? Some say it's the weight of expectations. Others think it's the Timberwolves' inconsistent roster moves. And let's not ignore the rumors about lingering injuries, something he hasn't publicly addressed but seems to be affecting his explosiveness. Whatever the reason, the season has been a reality check for a player many thought would be unstoppable. Now, let's get into what might have caused this slump. First off, the Timberwolves' team dynamics. They've been experimenting with lineups and struggling to find a rhythm. When your team isn't consistent, it's hard for a player to thrive no matter how talented they are. Second, there's the mental aspect. Edwards is just 23 years old, and the pressure of being a franchise player isn't easy to handle. He's said in interviews that he wants to win badly, but that kind of drive can sometimes lead to forcing plays or trying to do too much. And finally, let's talk about his shot selection. This season, it feels like Ant is settling for too many contested jumpers instead of attacking the rim, where he's nearly unstoppable. Whether it's confidence or coaching, something needs to change. Here's the thing, Anthony Edwards is still one of the most talented players in the league. Every young superstar hits bumps in the road, and this might just be his. The question is, how will he respond? Will he double down, get back to the basics, and silence the critics? Or will these struggles define the next chapter of his career? If there's one thing we know about Ant-Man, it's that he's a fighter. And when he's locked in, there's no one in the league like him.